Hey YouTube, welcome back to another multiple palette, multiple look video. I'm hella excited for everything you're going to see. And I'm excited to see what your comments are going to be. There will be timestamps below so you can skip from one look to the other if you want to. But of course, I would love if you stay and you watch all of the looks throughout and hear my thoughts about them and to see how things apply. I did do some chopping up for the last few just for time's sake. And I appreciate those of you who, regardless of how long the video is, like, you stay for the duration. I do appreciate that. And if you're not able to do that, I do understand. I appreciate whatever time you're able to put in to watching my videos. As always, lots of information below. I don't think I did the intro for the first look. This is not the first look, but I love all the looks. So what is the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation? The Crazy Troll Nation is just the crazy part is just knowing it's okay to be yourself if you do videos, and even in life in general, your day-to-day life, not caring too much about what other people think. Like, be yourself, because that's when you'll be happiest. It's just being who you are. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or even a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to, because you need to like how your makeup looks. The bottom line, though, however, is self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That's what we stand for here. So we're going to get into these looks, and I'm excited. If you've been here before and you're not subscribed, I would love for you to do that, of course. It's just a click of a button, and even to watch videos is the click of a button. Click like if you like the content that you see, thumbs down if you don't. Comments are always welcome. I love the interaction, and I love for us to help each other out in the comments with our thoughts and our experiences with certain palettes or certain color stories. So I think that's going to be it. So let's just get into it. Welcome back. Today is February 21st. We're using Tillamook. This is mint chocolate chip ice cream, scented and flavored. I've had quite a day today, and so this always enhances my joy because it was gifted to me by a very special person in my life. And so here we are. So eyes are primed, face is done. There's stuff I want to talk about, but we need to jump into it because we're doing multiple looks in this video. Oh, there's something in my eye. And it's moving. We're using Nomad Berlin Underground palette, and this is what it looks like. This is no longer available. So if you like this color story, try and dupe it for what you have. Everything in here except a few shades. This appears to be a matte. So does this one and this one. Everything else in here, this one possibly a matte, but everything in here seems to just kind of have like a satin-like finish, and you can see it more with the shimmer shades. But it doesn't appear to be a lot of mattes in here. This palette has hemp seed oil in it, and most of Nomad's palettes, and I think they may be changing, I'm not sure, where each palette had like a different element in it, a different type of oil or something, and I don't know if they're still doing that now that they're moving to multi-chromes, dual chromes, pressed pigments. And so, but anyway, I had this back in the day, loved it. I will say about this palette, the shadows do always crease on me, and I think it's the hemp seed oil. And in my experience with the Nomad palettes that I have had, they all turn on me around 9 or 10 months. The PAO is 12 months. And again, I think it's because of the oil that's in it, because oils do turn. I know, keep your shadows in a cool, dry place. I do all of that, but it's just something about stuff that I have. So anyway, but I do really love it. It came back into my possession the end of last year, and I need to get back to it. So I'm excited to use it. I'm thinking we're going to stay kind of here. I'm not going to, yes, I will say the names because some of them I'm not able to pronounce properly, but we're going to stay here and within these shadows right here. So actually I'll just point it out to you because that'll be quicker. Lower lash line and upper and lower inner rims. We have MAC Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliner and Pool Shark. And I did use this pencil brush to just blend it out a little bit in case I happen to forget to put shadow under there. But will I really? Who knows? So we're using mostly hourglass brushes for our transition shades. We're going to be using Makeup Geek brushes. These say defined crease brush. You can use them for your crease. You can use them for lower lash line, inner corner brow, whatever you want to use them for. For our lid, we're using just a flat shader brush. And eyeliner, we're using a very thin brush. So that's what we're using in this tapered, what is it called? Pencil brush for lower lash line. So we're going to just jump in. I'm hoping this looks right because y'all know I just be doing stuff. I want to say something about this color story. As I was sitting here looking at it, you can do a color story like this in rows. This row. And this could be the accent color. You can do this row. You can use this black, of course, to deepen anything or use it for your lash line color. And I'm saying this, and I say this a lot, and Grace says this a lot too, and also other YouTubers, other content creators have said it to help you see or help you, I don't want to say learn, but to just give you another perspective on when you're looking at palettes and you're like, what am I going to do with it? Look at it in rows. This can be a column. That could be a look. This can be a look, this column. This would be a nice column to do a look. So with this one, and also this one would be a nice, you know, kind of funky-ish, kind of funky in a good way look. And you can even do diagonals. You can do this one here. You can do this one here. You can do this one here. And you can do quads. You can do these four. You can do these four. You can do these 4 shades. You can do these 4 shades. These 4. This would be a nice fun quad. Those 4. And that would be as fun as if you did these 4. So I'm just doing this to, and I'm not going to do this for every palette. My eyelids are sticking because of the primer. My puff lid is sticking to my mobile lid. So I just wanted to show you that. So we're going to take this shade first. I honestly don't know which one is darker. My color perception is different than most people that I know. So we're just going to start with this one and just see what it looks like. So we're going to put 4 shades on the lid and we're just swiping the brush in it. We're tapping off, even though for this palette, I don't remember, this is East Side Gallery, this shade. I don't remember having issues with the shadow sticking or it applying. I like this palette because it's just like it's like a soft grunge palette and I love it. And I'm reminded right now of why I love it so much. It's just, and I need to not go up so high with my lid shades because we do have transition shades. But since this side is already up to the brow, we're gonna put this side up to the brow. So this is pretty. I haven't used this palette in a long time. This is so pretty. Okay, let me stop because we have other shades to put on. Now we're going to go into Techno, this shade here, and we're going to put this next to it. This would make for a nice halo look, I think, as well, because these 2 shades, oh, it's chunky. This shade just chunked up. This one, I can't tell if it's darker or not. It's blending in. It looks to be a little more shiny on my lid. This shade is not performing smoothly. Darn. This was gifted to me from someone who purchased it from, I don't know if it was Macari or somewhere, because it had an Ipsy sticker on it. Because this wasn't Ipsy eons ago before I even knew about this palette. This shade is making my lid look very textured. That's Techno. That's this shade right here. So I'm saying that to say, who knows how old the palette really is. And even though the period after opening is supposed to be good for is 12 months, I don't know how long it was sitting where it was sitting. This has my lid down here looking very, very textured. This side looks a little smoother, but up here looks textured. Okay, maybe this is already... Okay, I don't like that. Because it's telling me that it's something wrong. That's what it's telling me. And the way it balled up and chunked on my lid is something ain't right with that shade. But we're going to keep it moving because that's what we do. Now we're going to come down to Love Parade. I remember loving this shade. It's getting chunky in the pan. This may be the last time you see this palette. Because these shadows are smooth. I've always known for this palette, the shadows to be smooth. And so For it to be getting chunky in the pan as I'm swiping the brush in it, that's telling me that something is different. Something is just a little bit off. So I do think it's starting to turn. And my lids don't feel itchy or irritated, but that does tell me this is not at its peak. I like this shade. Oh, so you see what I'm saying about the light grunge, like the soft grunge look? And I realize I am sweeping this over that second shade because the second shade didn't really show up too much, surprisingly. We're gonna just fluff, well, not fluff, but we're gonna do this here just so that's not so harsh, even though we're putting that black over here. I can say I will like the look, and I do like the look. I like these shades, I like these colors. The formula is not the formula I remember. And so I know that something is different about the formula. And this right here is looking very textured as well. Yeah, this, if you can see this, here's an example. So look at this first shade, how smooth all of that looks. And then look at this. I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. This side isn't as bad and is flaking. I don't remember this palette having fallout either. It is, yeah, this will be the last you see this palette. I'm going to take this black right here, which is Club Naught, unless I'm pronouncing it wrong. And I remember this being very dark. It's a black, it should be, but it's not really looking that dark. I say things and then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have said it, but I said it because I do remember it being a dark shade. And yeah, this is a shame. And you know what though? I'm glad I did this video because I started not to, because today was a day. It started out okay. And then like stuff just happened and then I'm kind of just bummed out and I'm mentally exhausted. And I thought not to do this video, but then I'm like, okay, this is going to be a multi-look, multi-palette video. And so if I don't do this today, it's going to shift all the other looks that I have planned to do. So I'm like, let me just do it. But and I'm glad I am, because when I sit and play makeup, I do feel better in that moment. And so it's sort of just like a pick-me-up kind of thing. But I am glad I'm doing this because my eyes are starting to burn. I did use the Scandinavia primer spray, and I realized I don't like it. This is my second time using it. My skin feels extremely tight. And when I used it the other day, one of my eyes was feeling weird too, which was weird because you would think it would be both of them. Now we're going to take, I cannot pronounce it, this shade for the inner portion of our, I don't know what to call it, not transition area, but right here, the first portion of our brow bone. Oh, this is nice. This is one of the ones that appears to be a matte. And so that's why I left this space here. Even I took the first shade all the way up, I left this space here because I knew I was going to put this shade here. So yeah, this is definitely a soft grunge look, or maybe not so soft, excuse me, once you get over here to where the black is. But I really like this. Oh, I like it. And now we're going to take, I don't know how to pronounce it, this shade for the second part of our brow bone. And so yeah, we are putting like some very bold shadows up here. You know what, that's different. I don't like it and I like it at the same time. I don't like it because I don't like how it looks, but I like it because it's different. And so I hope that makes sense. And so we are wrapping it around the outer edge of this shade, and hopefully that'll help with this peak that I put here by accident. And then also by the time we put eyeliner down there, that should even that out. I do like this. I do like the blend. I like how it's all working together. Yeah, both my eyes are burning, but I don't think it's the shadow. I think it's the primer, that primer spray. And that primer spray does have I can't place what the scent is, but it does smell like something. It doesn't smell rancid. It doesn't smell like is anything spoiled. And maybe, I don't know, because I don't smell it at all with the finishing spray. But with the primer spray, and when I used it before, I said, I'm gonna keep using it to see, but this will be my second and last time using it. And I messed around and ordered one before I used the travel size one. So now I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with that. I'll see if they do returns, and if they don't, it'll be in a giveaway, because I will not use it because I'm still using the sample one. We're gonna take a brush with no shadow on it. I do like how that red came down, how we brung that down. I'm saying it came down like it did it by itself. How I brung this shade under here. I do really like how that looks. I like how it's turning almost purplish against that black. This side I'm liking better as far as the shape, but y'all know my shapes don't be the same, and y'all know I don't try too hard. A brush with no shadow on it. We're just, you know, just buffing, just blending, just buffing and blending. And this is it. I'm trying to think how many looks are we gonna do, because we're almost at 15 minutes. Because I don't want my videos to keep being like an hour for 4 looks, because I do want you guys to watch them and not skip, but I do understand if you do skip. Now we're going to take NDW, this shade right here. That's going underneath with this brush that we use to blend out Pool Shark. It has a mirror in here, so I can do this. So this, I chose this color for under here just to add more color to the look, to give like a slight, oh, that's pretty. You know what? I was wondering if I was going to miss this palette. And when I didn't have it for a while, after the first one turned, when I saw it, when my friend had it, I was like, oh. And like all those feelings and thoughts came back of how much I liked it. And now it's going to go away again because the formula is different than I remember. And I'm not even going to sell it because it's dead at this point. So, but I will look at it and see if I have something I think can dupe it, or at least some of the colors, or even a color combination. We have a gray, we have like a blue gray, we have a gray, we have like a purplish, we have a black. So these are like basic shades, whatever shade this is, and then, you know, whatever. So, and that, so I'm sure I can do this look with other stuff, but it is something about just having it all in one palette. And I did have fallout. It is now gone. We're going to edit out putting on eyeliner for our upper lash line, mascara, a black lip, and then we will be back with the finished look. This is our finished look for our upper lash line. We use Inglot number 86. And that's the green to tie in with the lower lash line. I think it was a good choice. It's not much, it's not noticed much on the mobile lid, but when you come out to over here, that's where I see it most. For mascara, we use Scott Barnes Pumped Up Mascara, and I don't know if I'm not liking it as much as I used to back in the day when I had it, or if I'm still just on the heels of really loving the Fenty Hella Thick Mascara. Because even using the MAC Stack one, I'm like, it's nice and it lengthens, but... So I think I'm still really just used to, or I really liked the Hella Thick more than I thought I did. And I'm looking at it, and it's okay. And we did use Max Caviar for the lips. And so this is our finished look right here. My pointy thumbs right here somewhere. Let me know what you think, and hang tight for the next look that we're going to do in this video. Today is February 22nd. We're going to start with Cake Batter Chapstick. Complete base face is done, including the brows. Lower lash line and inner rims is Pool Shark from MAC. And what else did I do? Oh, I already primed my one eye. So we're going to do one eye on and one eye off. This is Mission XXX from Martine Cosmetics, and this is what it looks like. And this is the one based on the Alien themes, and so all of the shadow names are character names from the Alien movies. And so I'm gonna do something similar. I think maybe we'll see how it turns out to what we did yesterday. So we're gonna go, that's not quite it though. We're gonna do, well, I'll just show you when we get to it, but we're gonna do these three and then come down to the black. And so same kind of concept with the grayish and then the purple, but there's not like a grayish blue. And I think we might put this lower lash line, even though we have a green under here. And one of these for transition shade, maybe. So, but let's just get into it and see so we can keep it moving. We're using mostly the same brushes we used yesterday. So we're going to take Vasquez. Somebody help me out because I never know. I'm going to miss this palette when it's gone. It has not been available for a long time. I doubt they're bringing it back because they're not bringing back 669. And this one and 669 are my favorites. And they're the only two left I have from Martine Cosmetics. They are unique to my collection. Even though this has a lot of greens and I have other green palettes, it's just different. Now we're going to take the Wayne. And we're going to see what that's going to look like. And again, it's not that grayish blue from... Oh, that's pretty though. This almost seems to... It looks brown-ish something, but it's showing up... Yeah, brown. I am overlapping with the blue because I'm seeing like a purple tint to it. Like when I go like this, I'm seeing a hint of purple. And so let me know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. And we're just doing some blending up here in between, well, where they meet is already blended. So we're going to put that brush down, and now we're going to go into Ripley, this shade here, and we're going to put that next to here. I don't like doing one eye on and one eye off because I like seeing the process come together as a whole. But for the sake of doing multiple looks in one video, and just trying to cut down on time, even though the video will still probably be like 40 minutes or so. But I'm trying to cut it down. And so that's why I am doing one eye on and one eye off. And sometimes it's hard for me to get them to look similar, even though my eyeshadow from one eye to the next never looks identical. I'm liking the gradient. Even though this is a lighter shade right here, I like the effect that it gives because when you turn, it almost looks like it's a multi-chrome, if you're seeing what I'm seeing. And so I don't mind this being a lighter shade because the way it looks when you turn, it's like, is it a lighter shade? Because right here, this looks completely dark from here all the way to here. I like it. We're going to take a little more Ripley because Ripley looks rich. And it's not looking as rich on the lid, but it does look true to pan though on me for the most part. Which means it kind of doesn't. Now we're going to go into Ron, which is this shade here. And I'm checking for fallout because this Vasquez, there is fallout here on the palette, and you probably can see it, but the rest of the shadows don't. And so that's why I was just checking my face. I am going to miss this palette. So we're going into Ron, this shade here, and this is going to go in the outer corner. I like this palette a lot. I think this is my 8th look with this palette. The reason I'm doing something similar as far as color story with the eyeshadows that we did yesterday is just to show you, not quite trying to dupe what we did yesterday, but if you have similar tones, like what you can do, you know what I mean? And so that's my point in not doing something like just completely different. The last look we did with this palette was a gray look, and I was surprised I got a gray look out of this. Well, not really, because I have quite a bit of gray, but it was a beautiful look. I do have a Martine Cosmetics Mission XXX playlist if you want to see the looks that I've done, and that look I really liked. Actually, I really liked all the looks I did with it. I like this shape here because sometimes I come down too far. So we're going to leave this like this. No, we're not, because we have transition shades to do. I kind of don't want to do transition shade or brow bone because I'm liking how this looks like it's blended already. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe we'll just take a light gray. This has a greenish tint to it. Let's see. We will take Maman, this shade, and this is a matte shade. Or we could take Hudson. I just realized everything we have on so far is a shimmer. And even though this is a black, you see it has sparkles in it. So we have like no matte on the lid, and I am completely okay with that. So I think we're going to just take Hudson. So we're going to stick with that, even though I do want to do one of the greens or the yellows because they don't show up that way. Well, they don't show up as bold as they look in here. You know what? I'm not even going to do... This is a brush that had Ron on it, and we're just going to just blend that. We did not add more shadow on the brush. And what we're also going to do, we are going to take this brush, no shadow on it, and we're just going to blend right here. And then we're going to blend across the middle shade and then that purple shade. So we're just blending it a little further up without adding any more shadow to the brush, because we're not going to put anything under the brow. I'm digging how that's looking. What I'm not really digging is I realized using this brush for this first shade, sometimes I come over too far with the shadow, and I don't always like how it looks, especially if it's a dark shadow. But once it's there, it's just there, unless I go back and put concealer or maybe setting powder. Oh, something went in my eye. So maybe if I still see it later and if it bothers me, I'll put setting powder there. But when I turn, you can just see like that shadow right there. So actually, yeah, we're going to edit out the other eye. So that we're almost done. So when we come back, this eye will be done. We are going to put on, oh, where's that green? We're going to put on Inglot number 86. Ow, I be closing these tight. On our upper lash line, we're going to put on MAC Stack Mascara, the one that says Micro Brush. We're going to put on Sephora, and I said because this eye is tearing, because I want to use the MAC one because I like it just a tiny bit better, but we're going to use this one today. So when we come back, everything will be done. This is our finished look. We did one thing that we did not say we were going to do, and what we put on our lower lash line over that gel liner was Gorman, this shade here. So that is what's under here. I am loving this look. Let me know what you think, and I hope that seeing similar colors in similar places, how sometimes it really doesn't matter like what the palette is. It is really just about the colors. And so I am really liking this look as much as I liked yesterday's look. This look was less mess than yesterday, and everything performed really well as the day that I received it. Excuse me. And I believe this palette had a 24-month PAO. So I get to have this at least almost another year. The PAO for this is November 2024. So I'm excited about that. Everything performed really well, as I said. Here's the look. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the color gradient and having a darker shade here than the one that's here. And then this purple, because usually it's just completely like light to dark, that type of thing. But we did not do that. But I do think that it does kind of look like at least a dual chrome with that shadow there. So let me know if that was new for you or something new that you've seen, putting a lighter shade in between with it not being a halo look. You know what I mean? And so I am liking the black on the corners, of course. I am liking the upper lash line, the green that we did there. Of course, I'm loving the lip. Seems like space is missing or lipstick is missing. Sometimes with this, the Sephora one, when it starts to dry, I do see where there's patches, and then I usually go back and fill it in. I don't have to do that with the MAC one, but that'll be it for this clip. Stay tuned, and in a moment you will see me with another palette and another look. Today is February 23rd. We're starting with Cotton Candy Scented and Flavored Chapstick. Face is done, and for the first time in a long time, I use the Hourglass Tiger palette. No, the Snake palette. Yeah, it's been very much neglected to the point where I'm realizing I don't even miss it because I'm having such a good time with the Haus Labs stuff. This eye is primed. The lower lash line and inner rims, upper and lower, is Max Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliner, and the color is Stage 5 Clinger. And we're going to be using Lila palette. This will be look number 10 with this palette, and this is what it looks like. I love this palette. I don't use it as much as it deserves to be used, but I really do enjoy this palette. And so we are going to just jump in. We're going to do one eye on and one eye off. I'm trying to situate the sheet. It was perforated. I tore it off and I cut it so the edges weren't going to stab me. And I keep this in here so I can see what colors are what. But I'm having trouble figuring out which way to put it to read. Here we go. Where to go? What the shade names are. So we're going to start with Dragon Bite, which is this shade here, which is a dual chrome. So you see it's more reddish here, and then it's not. Again, with that typical shift. At the time when Lila first came out, I do think it was revolutionary. It's a soft shift, but it is also very pretty. This, I don't know if I ever put this like all over my lid. That's what I'm wondering. I don't think I've done that, because that's when you would really see it come out. Down here, I can see the green, I can see the red, because I'm not looking where you are. I don't know what you're seeing. And I also wonder what this would look like over a black base, or even like a dark brown base. That would be interesting. Now we're going to take Amethyst. This right here, this is rich. This is rich. We're just using flat shader brushes, wide flat shader brushes, because I have a lot of space. Not so much mobile lid here, but like all this puff up here, all this room to cover. And we're going back and forth where the two meet just to get that blend going right there. And I think I'm going to go back to the brush with Dragon Bite on it to pull this way instead of taking Amethyst further in. That's what I think we're going to do. So here we are again, one eye on and one eye off, and hoping Dragon Bite brush. And so we're going to just pull this over. So that's how we're going to get this blend going. And because this is a dual chrome or multi-chrome, it will just add to the effect, pulling it over that purple, I think. So now we're going to take, Layla, this shade here, the one I accidentally gouged, and we're going to put that in the outer corner. I really like these shadows, and it tells you on here what the finish is. And so Dragon Bite, it says it's a dual chrome, excuse me. Amethyst is a metallic, and it says Layla is a metallic. Excuse me, this shade right here. But it almost, yeah, there's a little sheen to it. It can function as a matte, like if you don't want like just a straight matte. Like to me, this can function for that. So it is a little sheen to it, but it's not a lot where it's like, oh my gosh, I need to put, you know, something else in my transition area. I like the shape. The test will be if we can get the other side to look the same. But I am going to bring up, going back to Amethyst, and we're going to sweep this up here because I did not plan on putting a brow bone shade. I have a brow bone highlight, but I wasn't going to put a shade in this area here. I like this Dragon Bite brush, and we're just going to just bring this up to the brow. I'm liking bringing this up to the brow. My style has changed over the years, because maybe I'll do a video of how I used to do my makeup, and then how I did my makeup, and now how I do my makeup. This is Amethyst brush. I think that would be interesting if I can even remember like to do that. The brush that had Layla, I don't want to mess with this over here. I don't want to mess with that. Maybe we'll take a brush later to just blend with no shadow on the brush like we've been doing. The first half of lower lash line, we're going to take Cyclone, which is this shade here, and I think it's a dual chrome. Yeah, so it's like a hint of pink in it, but for the most part it looks orange, and it does say it's a dual chrome. So this is going to go, this eye is starting to tear. This is going to go right here. There's a mirror in this palette. I have the paper over it, and I could just tilt my device down, so when I do tilt down, you can still see. Yeah, I'm so smart. Takes me a while to catch on to things at times. I'm gonna put that brush down, take a clean one, and we're gonna go into Pure, which is this shade right here. There's not a lot of mattes in this one. This one is also a metallic, it says. This eye is tearing. Oh, I hate when that happens, because there's no stopping it. And it does ruin the makeup because it pulls off whatever's under here as far as foundation and concealer and shadow for that matter. So we are overlapping where the two meet. And so that is this eye. This brush is wet. Shoot. Yeah, this is, yeah, you see how it's already cracking? we're just going to leave it. We're going to edit out doing the other eye. We're going to put these shadows there. We're going to, I believe, we're going to take MAC's Paint Pot and Black Mirror for upper lash line. But I'm kind of wanting to do red from Inglot, which is the number 79. This eye is really tearing. Because I think this will, we're going to use this because it's going to add like a punk element and then it's going to look funky. Look how this is traveling over. You see how that traveled that fast? And so what it does is, even when I dab it, it pulls off everything. And when I pull it down, you can see where it's already removing all the makeup that's in there. Why did this eye start tearing? So even when I just dab it to get the moisture off, there's no makeup in there anymore. And looking down here, it looks probably worse than what you're seeing. And when you look at this, yeah, it's just pulling everything off. And even when I use my finger, it still does the same thing. And that's another reason why, even though this is my darkest patch for under eye discoloration, it looks even darker now because now there's no concealer and foundation under there. Well, why don't you do your eyeshadow first? Well, I have a hard time appreciating what my eyeshadow looks like when my face isn't done first. And because my eyes are going to end up tearing anyway, it's like it's going to do what it's going to do. But I may try to fix it while we're on our break. So I'm going to do this eye, figure out what I'm going to do over here because that's looking kind of crazy. And, and then we will be back. This is our finished look, y'all. We have did the thing. We did put red up top and I am really loving it. I think it adds a pop to this look. The one thing that I thought to do and then I thought not to do, but then I did do it. We took Juno, I believe that's what it's called, this shade here, and we just put a thin line, as thin as possible, underneath our brow. And then we took a brush like this one, a pencil brush, and just blended it over just to tone it down just a little bit. I did go back in with my setting powder and also Radiant Light with this same brush and just tapped it under here, and it is still going and going and going. Like there is no stopping it, but I wanted to look a little more decent, and I did put more shadow under here. It just washed away, but this is the look. This is what we have. Let me know what you think and hang tight for the next look in this video. Today's I was gonna say December 24th. It is February 24th. We're gonna start with an Element chapstick. We're gonna do this eye today. I only have on primer, foundation, and concealer. This eye is still tearing horribly from yesterday. I don't know what's going on. Then I had a sneeze attack and my nose was running. Like I had to go catch it. I did test, I'm negative. But I'm just like, what? So I have some hot tea in there, which will probably be cold by the time this video is done. So anyway, lower lash line and inner rims, upper and lower on this side, because I didn't do anything over here yet, is the Sephora 12-hour retractable eyeliner. This is waterproof 04 matte terracotta. So we are going to mix Volume 1 and Volume 2 from Haus Labs. I like these palettes. Will only be my second time using these, and we're going to try to do that funky halo spotlight cat eye thing that I've done before, and we're going to see how it's going to turn out. And I'm feeling pressure behind this eye, and I'm wondering now if that's why this keeps tearing, because it did stop tearing yesterday, and then like a couple hours ago it started tearing again, but it doesn't feel like a migraine is coming. Like let's just get to it. I don't know. We're using, these say blending brushes, but I use them as shader brushes. These are the Fenty 230. And we have out 2 of the 220s. We have out 3 of the first one that I showed you. And for the spotlight strip, a smaller flat shader brush. And this is the Esom V27. So we're going to get started. Am I in the wrong palette? I am. This one is number 1. This one is number 2. So number 1 is more neutral. And they both say super neutrals. Is that what they say? Yeah, super neutrals. This is Volume 1. To me, it is more neutral, more just orangey coppery. The number 2 is more pinky and also smoky because of this top shade up here. So we're going to start with the number 1, and we're going to take Sienna Matte, this shade here. And I was getting ready to go over here, but I didn't prime. So I'm hoping this eye doesn't keep tearing. So this is going to go innermost and outermost. And this is a fluffier brush than the Hourglass number 3s because these shadows don't need a lot of work. Like I don't know what the problem was. A lot of people didn't like them, but then a lot of people did. Like on Instagram, the reviews were more positive, reading comments. But here on YouTube, people are not liking these. I don't know if it's the brushes. Ooh, that's orange. Wow. I don't know about this, y'all. Or if it's just what people are used to. But for me, these are smooth and they go on creamy with no problem. So like I just don't know. I don't know. It may be something with our skin. I really just don't know. Now we're going to go to Cocoa Matte. Excuse me for the glare. This shade here in the corner. And that's going to go on the inside. I'm hoping this isn't going to be challenging for me. This is creamier than the first one because I'm having to keep... And I can see the marks in here from where I was sweeping the brush in it. I'm not tapping off. We're going to just overlap. With a more dense brush, this would appear darker, but I didn't want it super dark because we are going to go dark before we get to the cat eye spotlight halo shade. So there is a reason that I'm doing this way. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Like, people on YouTube are just not liking these. I really like them. And thank you to my official troll fam that sent me these. And I was so excited that I liked them because I was concerned that I wouldn't like it and then I would feel like they wasted their money. But when I tried them, I'm like, ooh, so much so that while they were still on sale, I bought one of each for a giveaway. I have another surprise too, y'all. I got some stuff for y'all. And so, this is pretty. Yeah, now we're going to go into volume 2. And we're going to take Smoky Brown, this shade here. What I like about how they name them is the shade names are on the bottom, but they have it so this shade, you just flip it and it's the first one here and you don't have to turn it upside down. And so this shade, you read it right side up, Smoky Brown Matte. And I like how they did that because other palettes, it's like, okay, which, where, what, huh? And so I do think it was kind of genius how they did that. And it makes me wonder, like, why other brands didn't do that. So we're just going a little bit deeper. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. The challenge will be if I can get the other eye the same, which is always my struggle, even with regular eyeshadow looks. And with my lighting, this side always seems like super dark compared to this eye. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I don't have room to, like, get another ring light to put in front of me and all of that stuff. And so I'm doing the best I can with what I got. And I thank you for being along this journey with me. So that's all we're going to do for that. This piece right here looks a little funky because it looks like it's something missing right there. And I do have freckles right there too. So I don't know if that's it. But it's looking patchy, but it's really not patchy. These are just so smooth. Okay, now here we go. Ooh, we're going to take this brush and we're going to go into this shade right here. Trying to get the glare off, which, yeah, this shade right here, which is Olive Bio Glitter, it says. And we're taking a smaller dense brush because the shimmers in here, they are like really creamy. And I am tapping off and we're just going to come straight down the middle. We're going to go back in. I swiped it 3 times and tapped off. And we're going to do this. Just to blend it across. Maybe when I'm done the look, I'll be like, ooh. And I do have a hard time appreciating an eye look on me when my face isn't done. And because I only have on the foundation and the concealer, I'm like, I don't know. I'm actually going out today, y'all. I'm co-hosting an event. I'm not dressed apart at all. It's like a techno, like a Y2K techno party. And yes, I knew the theme, but y'all know I don't do stuff like that. I'm just so basic. And I know people are going to come up dressed, so it's like, are you for the humans or the machines? And so I'm excited to see. I like this. I'm excited to see what other people are going to dress up as. We're going back to, did we use this shade? Smoky Matte Brown. We're going to go back to the second shade we used in the first palette. This is Cocoa Matte, that second shade that we put on. And we're just going to lightly feather just out here. And we're going to blend. This is funky. I like it. Excuse me. This is the brush we use for our foundation, which probably is not a good idea because that's just smearing it and there is no more foundation on my palette. We're going to clean all of that up later. So I have no idea what eyeliner we're going to use. We are going to use the Fenty Max Stack Mascara. This one says micro brush. We're going to pull out some face products. Of course, we're going to use a black lipstick. But other than that, I don't know what's going to go on the face. I'll tell you when I come back. And when we come back, the whole face will be done. I completely forgot lower lash line. We're going to take Auburn. It says Golden Amber Chrome, this shade here. I don't know what I thought I was reading. And we're going to put this inner half, the first half. Oh, this is flaking over here. Oh, okay, this is messy. Ooh. And the brush I'm using isn't helping because it's pointy, so it's just kind of like digging into the shadow. You know, I'm glad I didn't do my face, even though it's not horrible. I did a thing, y'all. I did a lot of things, and you'll see. It'll be in a live. Will it? Yeah. This is flaky. This was volume 1. Now we're going to go to volume 2, and we're going to take Fuchsia Chrome, this shade here, for the second half. I like that, though. Like, look how shiny that is. This one is not as chunky as this one from the volume 1 palette. And this is going to go over here. And so now we will go finish the other eye, finish the face, and when we come back, everything that's nice really will be done this time. This is our finished look, y'all, and I will admit, when I just had the one eye done, I said this is a butt-ass ugly look. But now that everything is done, I'm digging it. Like, for real, for real. And this eye is not tearing. That it doesn't. So what we did for the face, I didn't say what I did for the face for the other looks, did I? We use Haus Labs stuff in the Hourglass. I did put more foundation under this eye, like right here before I started with the eyeshadow. And yes, you can see we use a yellow eyeliner. You can't see it like that. This is number 84 from Inglot, because this is funky. Oh, I dropped it. And of course, I'm digging the black lip. I really am not missing other lip colors. I really am not. Like, So my brain is like, I was looking because it looked like it was a patch right there. With the MAC glue, there never is. And my lip line looks decent today. My lip line is naturally crooked. But, y'all, I am hella excited for this look because I was just like, this is ugly as hell. But it was the kind of ugly that does grow on you. Well, for me, sometimes I'll see something like, that's some ugly ass shit. Like that. But then the more I look at it, I'm like, you know what? That's not so bad. So that's what I thought this was going to do for me. Like, just grow on me. But I actually really like it. Like, for real. It didn't grow on me once I did the face. And I'm looking pasty as hell. I need some sun. We're going to go. Let me know how you're liking the multiple looks, multiple palette videos. Let me know what you think of this look. Like, would you have thought, I dropped it, but it fell in my lap. Let me know if you would have thought to combine these color stories. And I'm not going to say these palettes because reviews were so mixed. I completely understand if you did not get them. But would you have thought to combine these color stories? This could be just like one entire palette to my eye. And so that's why I wanted to put them together and see what we came up with. So that'll be it for this video. Let me know what you think about all the looks that we've done. Let me know if you think you'll try to recreate any of them with the palette you already have, because it's about the color stories, not about the particular palettes. Let me know what you're thinking about a black lip. Like, are you ready to rock it if you haven't rocked one yet? And that'll be it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Lots of information down below, as always, and as usual. And also, self acceptance, self love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.